Finally got our new cover in. We bought because the other one had a crack in it. I've already hydroblasted it, taken the oil or the water pump out, and completely reinstalled the water pump to get it prepped and to put together. I'm not going to go over disassembling the water pump and putting it back in. That's going to be in a total separate video. This is just engine assembly. This is our new cover. See, there's no crack in that one. Make sure there's no gasket material left on it. Now, I'm going to get our, knock everything over with. We're going to get our inner clutch cover gasket. I don't need that no more. Alright, there's a dial up here, one there, two dials in place. There's another one here for the water jacket. It actually has an O-ring. Alright, you little bastard, come on. It actually has an O-ring around it. So make sure they're in place and seated correctly. Right here is actually where your oil pump passage goes in. I am going to put just a tad bit of this around the edge. I mean, I really like film. We want this area to be sealed off for the purpose. We need as much oil going to the top as possible. If you lose any of your pressure down here, and you're more likely to burn your head up. May or may not ever happen, but just something I've always done. Alright. I've got bad allergies. That's why I feel like my throat's constantly stopped up. No, I don't have no damn coronavirus. Here is the gasket. I want to make sure we put it in place directly over the dials. Make sure all the bolt holes line up. Everything looks good. Go back through and check your mating surface on the side cover. All that looks good. Right here, this is the crankshaft. It actually seats in this seal right here. I want to make sure we got some assembly lube on it, and this is your water pump bearing. So make sure it's got some on it as well. I see a few imperfections with this case. I'm gonna just, like I said, this is the new one that we just received. I'll make sure it's flat. Now, normally wouldn't do this, but on the very bottom of this case, I'm going to put a thin layer of sealant. Especially around the area that I had to take the razor blade out to. Man, this, there you go. Stuff out like it was going to find the top to it. You get this stuff on your clothes, make sure you get it off while it's wet, because if it dries, good luck. There it is. It's hiding behind the damn socket. Don't attempt to put this stuff on with gloves, you'll have nothing but problems. Have little fuzzies all over the damn thing. Might as well keep on going. Alright, so I'm going to take the shaft. It's not sitting down on the dial. There we go. We'll make sure that's in place. There. Now, let's put our bolts in. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's the wrong one. Sucker fell out of sight. There you go. Anywhere where the dial is going to be at is going to be deeper. So the other one's going to be right up there, just like that. There's one there, one there. And there's one more over here. zone. I need this. I'm gonna run it down. Alright. Now what I'll do is I'll torque them all at the same time, so I'm not going to torque these right now. I'll install the oil filter housing cover, the O-rings, and the water pump cover with the gasket, and then I'll torque them all down at once because I believe I can get to every one of them same. Now let's install the oil filter. Right, that's the wrong oil filter. This is the right oil filter. Get in a hurry here. One says racing. YFZ450R. It's $1 more. Probably because it just says racing. I don't think there's any difference in the damn filters we're going to see. Just knew something was funny about it. There. Now I'm actually curious what the hell's difference in the filters. I guess there's something different in the, okay, inside there's bigger holes than there are on this one, the strainer. That's the only difference I see. Anyway, it would have worked, but it wouldn't have flowed as much oil, so it's good that I caught that. Now, I'm going to put the O-rings, and I can't tell you how many people forget these damn O-rings. And a lot of people probably will pour oil in here to prime it up or whatever. I won't do that until I assemble the motor. I'll actually turn it over a few times. I use enough assembly lube that it's fine. I'll turn it over, and then there's a screw on the other side over here where you can loosen it and make sure oil's coming to the top of the head. But I'm not going to prime it right now. I'll do that when I put it in the bike. Now, if this is one of the engines I was shipping, it might be a different story, but I'm actually installing this one, so it's a little different. Now, there's another O-ring here. Just make sure it's in place, and as you can see, then the hole here goes on that, so you can't get the oil filter in backwards, in case anybody was wondering. You got 2 and 2. It'll go just like that. Now, there's two different screws. One is a fat one. It's fat here. It goes in the bottom, right there. It's the odd one out of both of them, or all of them. And then come on, you little bastard. 5mm Allen, and another one right there. Need a T-handle. camera. We're going to tighten these crisscross. Oh, there's one screw I missed back here. A bolt. Oh, you got me wondering if I missed something. I have all these extra screws because, for one, this side cover that we got come off of another motor and it had all the screws with it, so there will be extra screws in my tray, which is fine. But in case you're wondering, I always think, well, there's leftover screws. Nope, they're bolts. Now, next is water pump cover gasket. Okay. My daughter is going to bed. All right. There's a dial that goes here, but it's in this side. I'm going to take it out and put it in here so it'll hold the gasket in place for me. Might actually be two of them. Yep. There's the other one. Two guides. Dials, or whatever you want to call it. I'll make sure this is true and straight, flat, and all the above. There. Perfectly flat. We'll put it now. Pretty sure this long, that's it. This one right here has a copper washer goes on it. That one, like so. I believe, nope, nope. Yep. Negative. That's it. Now, actually, I don't like that one. Looks like that one got some scuffs on it. Let's find one that's in better shape. Here you go. And actually, you know what? I think this is the one with the copper gasket on it, or the copper washer. See that little arrow right there? I don't know if y'all can see it. Fall over again, would you? We're gonna... That probably sounded bad, but it didn't hurt nothing. This little arrow here in the case, that indicates that there's a copper washer that goes there. And if you look around, I say look around, there's probably not any more on there, but I believe this goes here. That one goes there. Damn it, that sucker don't go down in there that deep. So let me check it on the actual cover itself. Alright, it's close cover gasket. I believe that's part number. Make sure we get this thing in the right place here. Just gonna go like that. I put the guide on this one here. It actually does sink down in the case pretty good. So, and I also painted this cover with high temp paint. They don't really need to be high temp. I just take the way they look. The rest of the bike's gray. It's a limited edition. Kind of felt like it needed something instead of all the scratches on it from your feet. Now, don't need that. Let's put the rest of these screws in there. I think my other long one, yes sir, and then this one goes there. Negative. This one, that's another one. I don't like the look of that one. Seems like it's a different color. There we go. think some screws got switched around somewhere. That's that one that's all boogered up. We gotta find something to replace it. There. Now some of them screws will fit the sensors and the brackets and stuff like this that we'll put on later whenever we get ready to install it. Alright, it's time to do a little torquey. Yeah, I hear you. Start with the back ones first. Alright, so that's all of those. Water pump. And we'll do the clutch cover. I'm going to go back through with the T-handle. Probably do a 45-degree turn on every one of these. Or the ratchet. Yep, that's a little stiff. 1.9. Now, we'll do the goodness gracious. This sucker was already at 9. There. Now, looks like I'm done with this. Put you back in your case. Get a rag. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure to these. It's nothing. I always built these engines by feel. Alright. Okay, that is it. Except for I scratched. I don't know if y'all can see it. I scratched the side cover right there a little bit. So I'll show you the best way to fix that. I'll take the gasket. I think I'm getting sick. I'll take the gasket board, backing board or whatever that the gasket came on, and we'll find one of the 100 razor blades that's normally laying around here that I can't seem to find today. There, I found one. And we're just going to cut there. That'll work. And this is what I used. I'll set it over that like so. And from a distance, ooh, this thing sprays like crazy. We're just gonna, yeah. And that's it. Now I got a right thumb. Alright. Try not to touch the wet area. Put that there. I guess we can go ahead and put the manifold on, or the intake boot.